Well, I
Did you
was
have
a child
any tips
prostitute,
then?
and a lot of very sleazy old men who are probably dead now used to take care of my business, so to speak.
So where was that? Where did you sort of ply your trade?
In the park.
In the Fitzroy Gardens?
Right in the park, yep.
And when are we talking?
78 through to about 85.
How old were you?
From about 11 through to about, well, for me, I suppose it was really only till about 15, which was 1981.
Describe what would happen.
Well, you just sit down and then somebody would come and sit next to you, and like an older person, and ask you what you were doing there, and you'd explain it to them, and then they'd either take you home or to a hotel room or...
Okay. How much would it pay?
I suppose in those days you'd probably get $50 a throw or something.
Tell me about the other kids.
Like people like Glenn Fisher and Dean Waterman. And
yeah, like you weren't the only young person working in the gardens.
No, we all lived in where Springfield Towers is now.
Yeah.
We all lived, there was a car park there, and we all lived in the old car bodies there.
Oh yeah, like living on the streets, obviously.
Yeah. And well, yeah, Dean Waterman became a junkie and died of an overdose. As far as I know, Glenn Fisher lived for quite a while into his adulthood, but he eventually died of an overdose. Linda Kirby was abducted and murdered in 1982, and
well, it's just by some customer, yeah?
No, by a group of thugs. Actually, there's a funny story. Well, not a funny story, but a strange story. We all saw her getting abducted in a panel van just down right next door to the police station. And then we went in to actually tell the police that she'd been abducted, and rather than actually do anything about it, they arrested us and beat us up and then let us go the next morning, and her body was found soon after that. Her body was actually found by an older man, and she'd been stabbed 3 times and she was asking for help. The old man took her upstairs and had sex with her until she was dead, and then they found her body in a garbage bin. And the blood trails led up to his flat and then back down again.
Jesus, how old was she?
She would have only been 13.
So there were girls and boys working there?
Yes.
Okay. And how many at any given time?
I could probably name 10 that I knew of on and off.
Okay.
Over the years.
Right.
That's right up till about 1985. It was a rather big embarrassment to the King's Cross police, I reckon, in the end.
Like somebody, like a current affairs show did an expose, yeah?
Well, they exposed it, and it was actually really quite obvious, and after that it was policed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it got out of the Fitzroy Gardens. Did it sort of move anywhere else?
No, it just disappeared, because there was Green Park, but that's always been the case there. That was for the older ones. It took about 10 years after 1985, but if you look around King's Cross now, the only real kids you see around here are kids accompanied by adults. And that's not to say that it hasn't moved out into the suburbs. I'm sure if you actually went out to find street kids, you'd probably find them. And I believe that there are organisations that do say that statistically they are still out there. I think I'm a pretty genuine, nice person today, and I believe that it was all the things that happened then that made me who I am today. So I have a profound respect for people in general. I don't write people off because they're necessarily drug addicts or prostitutes, or I tend to look a little bit deeper than the problem that you see on the surface.